Hi guys, today we're going to talk about floating. What is floating? Floating is when something is in water but it doesn't fall down. So if I put my apple in water, it doesn't fall down, it stays up. But if I put a coin in water, it falls down. If I put this cork from a bottle, it floats, it stays on top. But if I put this dollar into water, it sinks, it falls down. The apple floats, but the coins sink. So why do some things float and other things sink? So why do some things float and other things sink? So why do some things float and other things sink, like my coins? Is it because they are big and small? Well, the apple is bigger than the coin, but the coin sinks and the apple floats. What about how heavy it is? Well, my apple is heavier than my little coin, but the apple floats and the coin sinks. So why do some things float and other things sink? Well, it's because of what is inside. Look at this bottle. Inside is air. So let's put it in the water. It floats because the air is less dense than the water. What if I put water inside the bottle? I have some water here. Will it float or sink? It floats, but it's down farther in the water because inside the bottle is also water, and water is the same denseness as the water. What if I put something else in the bottle? I'll put some coins in my bottle. I have a lot of coins. So now, if my bottle is full of coins, will it float or sink? It sinks to the bottom because inside are coins, and the coins are more dense than the water. So what's important is how dense is this thing? What's really inside it? And that's how we know if it floats or sinks. The apple is a little less dense than the water, so it's a little bit on top. The coin is more dense than the water, so it sinks. So now, let's try some other things from around my house to see if they float or sink. So I have a banana, a balloon, some soy in a can, Coca-Cola, and a little Lego person. So which things will float and which will sink? I think maybe the balloon will float because it has air. And I think the Coca-Cola will float, but it will be in the middle of the water because it has water inside in the soda. And I think maybe the little Lego person will float. But I don't know, I think this banana feels kind of heavy, so maybe it will sink. But I think that this, maybe it has water inside, so maybe it will float. So I think that this one will sink, and I think that the others will float. So let's try and see what floats and what sinks. So let's try some things from around my house and see if they float or sink. So we can try a balloon. I think it will float. And Coca-Cola. I think it will probably float too because it has water inside the soda. And a banana. I don't know, the banana feels dense to me. I think maybe it will sink. And this can. This doesn't feel very heavy. Maybe this one will float. Maybe it has water inside. And we can try this little Lego person. I think she will float. And let's try my watch. I think my watch might float because it is a watch for swimming. So let's try. Okay guys, so let's see if my objects float or sink in this big box with water. So first we can try the balloon. I thought it would float. Oh, and it floats. I was right. The air is less dense than the water. Then let's try the Coca-Cola. Will it float or sink? I think it will float. Oh, it floats, but it's very deep in the water. I think inside the Coca-Cola is soda with water, so it's about the same as the water. Now, let's try the banana. I think maybe the banana will sink. Oh, look, the banana floats. So inside is similar to the denseness of the water. Now, let's try this can of soy protein. Will it float or sink? Oh, I was wrong. It doesn't float. It sinks to the bottom. It is more dense than the water inside. Then let's try my little Lego person. I think she will float. Oh, I was right. She floats on top of the water. She is less dense than the water. And last, let's try my swimming watch. So I think maybe my swimming watch can float, but let's try. Oh, it doesn't float. It's definitely more dense than the water. Okay, guys, so now we can see that the balloon and the banana and the Lego person and the Coca-Cola all float, but the can of soy protein and my watch sink. So I was wrong about the banana and the watch and the can of soy protein. So now I hope you can try at home. If you have a big box like this for water, you can use some big things. But if you have a small one, it's okay. You can use some small things and see if they float or sink. Okay guys, goodbye.